welcome back to Walk, Run, Soar. This is definitely not the most attractive I've ever looked on here. Yeah, I got done with a run, just came in with the dogs. I'm multitasking, downloading videos out of the cloud and making some lunch, so we're multitasking right now. Today's day 39. So today and tomorrow, and then I can't believe I've done this whole book. Tomorrow, obviously, there's going to be 2, but this is number 50 in the book, Dealing with Disappointment. This is a pretty good one, I think. Our verse is Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 and 19. I really need lunch. Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. I like that verse. So she references back, she talked about it in devotions before, how she ran the Chicago Marathon for her 40th birthday. And she had a whole group of family and friends that came to either run the same race or cheer her on. And she had a running buddy that was going to run with her during the race named Marina. And they put in the training. She trained with Marina and her husband Sean. And she was trying to get a new personal record in the marathon. And when the race finally came, she said she knew from the beginning that she just wasn't feeling great. Her stomach felt weird, and she had already, had to take 2 bathroom stops, which she said she hates taking bathroom breaks during a race. And she talked about how she had lower back problems before. She said by mile 15, her lower back was screaming, and her right foot felt tingly and numb. Just, it was not working for her. And it was a sunny day and all that. And at some point, her running buddy, Marina, said that she was going to go ahead and run ahead at a little bit of a quicker pace than they were going and meet her at the finish. And she says that she would have done the same thing if the tables were turned, but that her competitive side was making it hard to accept that she couldn't push harder to stay with her running buddy like they had in training. She says, my self-talk turned negative. I felt like a tangled mess. My sin was in my attitude, my comparing, my jealousy, my shame. I wanted to just lie down in the middle of the street and ugly cry. And she says that she finished, she was in pain, but she didn't stop and didn't walk, so she was able to run, jog, whatever, the whole marathon, which I think is amazing. But she still felt defeated, and she was disappointed with her time and with her body. She says, all of us will face deep disappointment at some point in our lives. We often perceive that others are disappointed in us when our own unmet expectations are at the root. I've learned that sometimes I need to give myself space, and I'll add grace, to grieve my own hopes and dreams before I can move on. And so she references back to the verse that we shared at the beginning and how it was a prophecy that was meant to encourage the remnant of Jews seeking to return to Jerusalem from Babylon. And it's also meant to give us courage for today. Okay. I have to make sure I read the sentence properly so it makes sense. This passage can be divided into 3 parts. As listeners are urged to remember, not to behold. Okay, let's try one more time. This passage can be divided into 3 parts. As listeners are urged to remember not, to behold, and to look to the unexpected future. There we go. Verse 18 urges us to remember not the former things, or not to dwell on the past. When we experience deep disappointment, sometimes we can get stuck there, but there is a time to move on, to see something new. Behold invites us to pause and discern, to observe the new thing God is doing. We have this hope promised by God that springs forth into the future. In 19, we can behold a picture of this hope, that He makes a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The strong imagery that paints a picture of the unexpected. We wouldn't expect water in the wilderness or rivers in the desert, but just as God parted the Red Sea and provided water for the Israelites in the wilderness in the book of Exodus, He makes a way forward through our disappointment. So she ends with let us allow our disappointments and failures to propel us forward rather than holding us back today. So our faith step is, have you ever been deeply disappointed? What were your unmet expectations in that situation? How did you move forward with God's help? If you were still in that process, give yourself space to grieve and pray for God to make a way for you to move forward. Running wise, it can be easy. I feel like my two stepkids who run competitively, you know, with cross country, neither of them really have ever seemed to dwell on a bad race. They don't have very many bad races, but you know, sometimes they can be disappointed with their time. But I've never really seen them dwell on it. You know, they'll take that day and be disappointed, but then they just use it as motivation to work even harder. And I think that can be said with anything in life that we might be disappointed in. And also to measure your expectations and make sure that they're realistic expectations, and that you're not putting something on yourself that God would never put on you. You know what I mean? Our inspirational quote is from Paula Radcliffe, British marathoner and former women's world record holder. I've always been good at putting things behind me. I fall apart, do my crying bit, and then put it away and move on. And I've heard it on podcasts that I've listened to, running podcasts, you know, said put the race behind you. And I think it's a good attitude to have, because we're never going to have every race be perfect, every training workout be perfect. You know, I have a lot of days where I have a workout or a run or whatever, and I'm just like, that felt terrible. Why do I even think? I mean, I know once I get into marathon training that there will be days where a workout or a run won't feel that great, and I'm gonna be like, what makes me think I can run an entire marathon if these just 4 or 5 mile workout, whatever, felt awful, you know? And it's just one day. Just one day. It's the whole training is a marathon, not a sprint. A training note from Coach Sean. After a devastating race result, take a 2 to 4 week break from structured training to give your body and mind a chance to recover and regroup. Cross-train by swimming or cycling, or try running easy without caring about your pace, in a beautiful scenic place to inspire and reinvigorate your passion for running. I had never thought of doing something like that if I ever had a bad, you know, whatever, but I think that's really excellent advice. I like the part where, because I like running. I would never want to stop running for like a month, but to take it easy and go somewhere awesome where you can just enjoy what's around you. I really like that. So TGIF, happy Friday, and it's Good Friday today. So I'm excited. Our church is actually, I grew up doing Good Friday services, but the church that I attend here as an adult has never done a Good Friday service before, but we're doing our first one today. So I'm very excited about that. And I hope everyone has a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow. We'll have 2 tomorrow, and then we'll be wrapping this thing up.